hello booktube, and figured while driving I'll do something productive because I had to fix my audiobook and I forgot it. So, here's what I plan on reading. I plan on finishing a lot of stuff this week. I plan on finishing the 5 books for the Weston Prize. Those are Through the Garden Wall, The Way Home, Two Trees Make a Forest, Shame on Me, and Reaching Mithna. I remember them all. Don't ask me to remember the author's names though. Anyways, what else am I reading? I'm also reading the Made in Abyss Mango, which I can complete all the volumes. I'm reading like a volume a day. They're only 170 pages. And I'm also listening to The Passengers, which I might finish because I'm already on chapter 28. And there's 47 chapters left. So there's that too. What else? I know I'm reading more than that. Oh, I'm reading Transforming by Austin Hartke, which is about Christianity, Christian theology, and trans issues, in an affirming, positive way. And it's really eye-opening. It's coming up with these passages and then talking about them in ways that I've never thought about. Like, for example, there's this one there's one chapter all about changing names, because that's something that happens quite a bit when you're trans, right? And so it talks about different examples in the Bible when names are changed and why they're changed, and how it's always, this really good affirming thing that happens. And even Jesus' name was changed at one point to the Messiah, and that was just that was really cool to read that and think, yeah, I see this. It's not just Abraham and Sarah who had their names changed. It was also Peter and so many other things. God had his names changed. I can't remember her name in the Bible. I'm really bad with names, but she said she was one of Abraham's concubines, I think, and she said to God, "You see me," and that was the name that she gave him was someone who sees. So that was really cool. And I think that's all, but I know there's a lot more going on. Oh, I'm reading the 4th book in the Malazan series. That's kind of not a priority until these other 5 books are done, the Weston Prize books are done, because it is such a long book. I think it's another 1,100 page book. So yeah, that's it. I don't have anything else to say, but I'm driving still, so I can't turn off the camera. As if I'm not reading enough books right now, decided to open a new book. This one is really well taped. Let's see if I can open this with one hand on a soft surface. This is vomiting on my pillow for some reason. Oh, there we go. It's a bestseller. Oh, it's another Eden Robinson, I think. Yes. Monkey Beach. I just read earlier this year. Oh my god, I forget the name of the book. The one for Canada Reads that she wrote. Oh, look, there's notes in here. Cool. Okay. Monkey Beach by Eden Robinson. Tragedy strikes a native community when the Hills family, handsome 17-year-old son Jimmy, mysteriously vanishes at sea. That's all I'm going to read. Hi, BookTube. It is Wednesday. I had to think about that for a second. Wednesday night. And I am just updating you on my reading. I finished 3 of the Weston Prize books today. I only had I think it was 10 to 40 pages left in each one, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And to sit down and read like 3 books all in one sitting. I wish. Anyways, they were reaching Mythmina, which actually surprised me. That book is about a man who goes to volunteer in Greece during the refugee crisis of people coming over from the Middle East. And because when I first read the first few pages, I was just like, oh great, there's this, rich guy going to volunteer and, be all snooty and not acknowledge his privilege, but he did. And, it kind of was a story of growth, as well as like personal growth. Him kind of becoming more sure of himself at the same time, because he started out very insecure, and then growing into, not necessarily changing as a person, but becoming more accepting. Yeah, it was really good. Definitely really good. I also finished Shame on Me. Tessa McWatt coming to terms with who she is. She starts off with the question of what am I, as in like what ethnicity, what do I identify as, because she's from Guyana, so she's got all this mixture of different racial identities and backgrounds and cultural and national backgrounds, everything going on. And she ends up saying the question that she should have asked through all of that is, who am I? Because that's what matters more. And there were a lot of thought-provoking things, because she didn't just talk about herself, she talked about like history, and her family, and yeah, it was really, really good. The other one I finished was The Way Home by David Neal, which, to be honest, I skimmed the last half of the book. Because it felt more just like a list of accomplishments, which, like, yeah, good for you, dude. But, like, it didn't feel like there was any reason to keep reading. Like, it didn't give us thoughts on art except for, like, a sentence here or there. And it was more just like, my work showed here, my work showed there. I did this, I accomplished that. And, I think that's a great victory for you. But if you're going to put that out there for the world in a book format, maybe, weave it with some more interesting stuff. Yeah, because otherwise it just reads like a giant long resume. I really don't know why that book was chosen, but it's not my place to judge. The art was really interesting. I really enjoyed seeing that. And I'm just settling down. I'm gonna try and finish Two Trees Make a Forest before I go to sleep today, which is about the author going to Taiwan, and she's looking for like her family history, and two, simultaneously writing like this nature book as well. And this is the book. This is the nature book and her family history and her own personal journey to find those things. It's really good, really interesting. The only thing I hate are tickle ditches. I hate tickle ditches. Anyways, about 40 pages left in that, so I probably won't finish it before I have to go to sleep. But I did bring in this one as well, Through the Garden, which I'm only about a little over halfway through, and I'm really hesitant to pick this one up because I'm really not enjoying it. I'm trying to put a positive spin on it. Like, if you read an autobiography, it's obviously going to be centered on you. But all these other autobiographies I'm reading are not just centered on one person. They have more going on into it. I think there's just a fundamental clash between myself and Lorna Crozier. Not that I don't like her, and I said that before, but just that I think that we wouldn't get along. We'd be able to sit silent beside each other, but we'd probably disagree on like every facet of life. And I have strong opinions about poetry, and I need to explore more modern poetry. But for me, the key thing about poetry is that it has to have rhythm. Otherwise, you've just taken a paragraph and broken it up into different lines, right? It has to have rhythm, and I'm not finding it in her poetry that she's sharing here. So that's another thing I'm having trouble with. So it is Thursday morning, and I'm sitting in the car again. Big surprise. Anyways, I just realized I don't think I explained what The Passengers is about. It's an audiobook I'm listening to. It's a very appropriate book to be listening to in a car. Because it's about automated cars that have been hacked. And the guy is a psychopath. He wants to just randomly murder people. So he chooses 8 cars to hack and sends them all to the same location so that they're going to crash and die. And if there's any interference, then the cars are rigged to blow up. And if the interference is successful, then he has schools that are rigged to blow up. And there's a selection of jury members who were selected initially by the car companies to decide who's at fault in car accidents, because when it's an AI, it's kind of harder to decide, right? Whether the AI could have done something differently or whether it was the person that was hit's fault. It gets into the moral issues of that too. And it is messed up. Like, messed up things happen in this book, and it is horrible, but it is also like on the edge of your seat, like, because he'll just all of a sudden, someone will die, a car will explode, and you'll be like, okay, well, like, where's this story going, and what's, like, why is he doing this? So it's really quite cool.
It gave me hope. I've been through this before, Libby said suddenly. My brother, Nicky, he was tormented by mental health issues. He thought the same as you, that no one would miss him if he died. But we did. And we still do. Every single day. I'm sorry, said Jude. I didn't know. What happened, if you don't mind me asking? He suffered a head injury playing...
Hi BookTube, it's actually Monday, not Sunday. I usually start on Sundays, but I didn't yesterday because I got really busy doing house stuff. Anyways, sorry, I got my computer in front of me because I have to select a new ebook, and I was having trouble loading all my ebooks onto my ebook reader, so I'm just doing it one by one as I'm reading them. And yeah, so I finished a lot of books last week. All of the Writer's Trust books, and last night I finished Transforming by Austin Hartkey. So this week I only have my audiobook, which is The Passengers, which I am nearing the end. We're at the 6 months later part in that book. I'm still reading the Made in Abyss comics. I think I'm on volume 6. Just starting that, which is picking up where the last movie ended. So I'm gonna start seeing all the new stuff now. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you my selection for a new audio, or a new ebook here. I just got to go to the file on my computer, and there I'm gonna tell you how many ebooks I have, because it's too many. So I've decided to read The Word for World is Forest, because To Serve God in Walmart, the reviews were, well, it seemed just to be a biography of Walmart and how it's linked to evangelical Christianity. And The Word for World is Forest is part of the Hainish cycle, which The Dispossessed was, and I absolutely loved The Dispossessed. The Left Hand of Darkness, I believe, is also in the Hainish cycle. You don't have to read them in any order. But The Word for World is Forest happens directly after The Dispossessed. So I think that's what I'm going to be. It's about a group of humans going to another world that is mostly forested, and kind of, it says they're living like early 19th century settlers in the North America, you know, totally cutting down everything and enslaving the local population. Yeah, so it actually sounds quite interesting. Hi BookTube. It is now a Tuesday, and I was just sitting here editing some videos. I made my reviews for the Weston Prize list, and there was a knock on my door, and I thought it was very weird. But it turns out it was a package, and I know what it is, so I'm going to open it up here. It's technically a book, but it's not a book that you read. Yeah. Let me just use my fingers to open this instead of, you know, the logical thing, going to get a knife or scissors. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I love these things. Not the puppy now because I scare the cats, but this is what I got. The I can't say that word. There's some words that you can say in your head but you can't say in real life. Antiquarian sticker book. I saw this on TikTok and I love stickers. And I was like, I have to get that. I have to get these stickers. It's like an adult sticker book. That box was only empty for like 2 seconds before you jumped in, Ed. Huh? Darling. Darling girl. Hi, beautiful. Yeah, want me to move the box closer to the window? There, and you can look out the window with your mama. Oh. Are you gonna try and fit in, Yuna? Come on. No. Come on. There's lots of room in there for you. No. So I finished listening to Passengers by John Mars, and what an ending. That's all I can say. And now I've chosen a new audiobook. Sorry I didn't take you through the process. It's kind of not that interesting, I think. But I've decided to listen to... I had to convert the files to fit on my USB so it will play properly. That's what's going on here. Well, I'm moving the files. I decided to listen to Steven Erikson. I'm looking at my phone and not at my computer. Rejoice, A Knife to the Heart, which is a first contact story. So Steven Erikson, I'm actually reading another book by him. He does the Malazan series. This is House of Chains, book 4 in that series. This is only like 15 hours long, so I don't think they're as long as this, but it's a first contact story between aliens coming to Earth. But Earth has to be perfect first or something like that. Or Earth is made perfect first in order for them to come over. It was kind of what I got from it. Imagine a first contact without contact. In an alien realm where no alien arrives. Imagine the sudden appearance of exclusion zones all over the planet into which no humans are allowed. Imagine an end to all violence, from the schoolyard bully to nations at war. Imagine an end to borders, an end to all crime. Imagine a world where hate has no outlet, and the only harm done one can do is to oneself. Yeah. On the day of first contact, it won't be about them. It will be about us. So that'll be interesting. I really enjoy Steven Erikson's writing. When was this released? 2018. It doesn't look like it's part of a series. It looks like a standalone. Hopefully. So yeah, that's what I'll be reading. I should update my Goodreads while I'm here too. So I have a new mount. I'm not currently driving. I'm just testing it out. And I really do think I'm hitting a reading slump. I think the reason for this is because I pushed so hard with the Hilary Weston books, and I ended up really enjoying 3 out of the 5 of them. But I think that intense reading, like I was reading like 30 to 60 pages of each a day, so that was a lot of reading, and just kind of ignored a lot of other things going on. Like I let my kitchen get really messy. I let laundry go, so I have to now compensate and spend more time doing those things. So I think I need more of a balance there. But I've done my reviews. I'm done reading the Weston Prize books. I filmed, edited. I just need to upload. So yeah, that's the reading slump. And now my audiobook that I was loading last night is all out of order. So, and I don't feel like listening to the radio. I don't want to deal with the news right now. And I acknowledge that I come from a place of privilege that's allowing me to just completely ignore everything that's going on in the world right now. The only thing I was concerned about was whether Canada was going to have a federal election, and we're not. And I was like, thank God. Like, I don't want to hear about the state's election right now. I don't want to hear any bad news. I'm just done with it. I need a break for a little while. Okay, maybe I am just hungry. I know these are supposed to be waves, because this is a book about water, about drowning, about swimming, about fishing, all about water. So I'm pretty sure these are waves. But every time I look at them, all I see is bacon. Look, we're sitting on the side of the road again, wasting time. So, it's Saturday already, and I completely forgot or kept procrastinating to edit last week's vlog. So I'm just going to put these two together. Because I didn't read much this week, and I don't think I talked much this week either. Yeah, I did read like 50 pages last night of Monkey Beach. It's really... I don't want to say it's easy to read because it's about family and loss and death and wondering if her brother's still alive or not, and so like it deals with a lot of heavy topics, but I find myself like reading it quite fast and getting into the story, and I don't think I'm missing out on much or anything. You know, you always get more on your second read than the first read, right? But yeah, and then I read about like 10 pages of the word for world is forest, which is interesting. The main perspective that we start off with is of like, for me, for someone who's very liberal and like pro-environment, and you know, we got to work to fix things, and you got to be nice to everyone, you know, and anti-slavery. The main character is horrible to read from, and I know some people would immediately put that book down because of that, but then there is another perspective that comes in later. So like, if you are reading that book and you hate that initial perspective, just keep pushing through. Just keep pushing through. It's a very short book. Goodreads says it's 160 pages. My ebook says it's 106. I'm going with the Goodreads count because the ebooks don't always align up, right? And I'm making good headway into Rejoice, A Knife to the Heart, by Steven Erikson, my audiobook, which is about this alien AI wants to make Earth better. So right now he stopped all violence against other people, from domestic violence to like wars and everything in between, and also to try to stop humans, well, he's stopping humans from hurting the environment by creating exclusion zones. So he's like taking the people out, and like they're not allowed back into this area. So yeah, it's interesting. We're getting some chapters that are just like perspectives of like violent people not allowed to commit violence, and interspersed with the woman that's been abducted and who's having this explained to her what's going on, what the AI is trying to do. So I hope there's more of a plot. I think there is, because we just switched over to her husband's perspective, because he doesn't know where his wife is or what's going on either. Yeah, it's just the beginning of the story, so I'm sure it will get better. I love Steven Erikson's other books, the Malazan series. Speaking of which, I'm reading book 4, but haven't been making much progress in that at all. Good news is 99% of my place is clean. My mom actually came over yesterday and helped me out. So that's awesome. So that's not a distraction and a reason to procrastinate reading anymore. I just have to, you know, do some stuff with the cat litter. We're switching over from normal litter to pine pellets, and that's a bit of a process. So there's like 3 litter boxes going on right now. Yeah. So that's it. I'm just sitting here passing a bit of time before I have to go to my next patient. So that's the closeout for this vlog. Goal is to go home and edit these 2 things together and upload them. Yeah. see you next week, hopefully.